rituals getting loose well before we're underway. It's the NBA on 2K Sports. Hello, everyone. Great to have you with us. This is Kevin Harlan with Clark Kellogg and Steve Kerr. And now a quick check of our starting lineups for both teams. One of the guys we'll be watching out for today, the developing DeMarcus Cousins.
Well, what I like about him, Kevin, is he knows who he is. I mean, he's an energy guy. Plays with a physicality about his toughness, grit, and he knows that's his ticket to playing time on the floor. He does his best every single night.
And I also can't get over how much energy he expends rebounding the basketball. He goes all out on the board every single night.
And it's been home cooking for the Kings in the midst of a homestand here in Sacramento. And going against Chicago, their first meeting of the season. A year ago, they each gained a victory at home, but couldn't secure a win on the road.
I think when you look at Derrick Rose, the most intimidating thing about him is his elite speed. But you also have to consider his size. He's well put together, about 6'3", maybe just a shade over 200 pounds. He is a handful when he's coming at you fast with that strong body and explosiveness.
Tremendous stuff from a guy, Clark, we think more of for his passing.
Yeah, but he's got tremendous leaping ability and a surplus supply, too.
Well, that's a great aggressive move and 2 big points, too.
And the basket by Thornton. And Clark, you mentioned the size of Derrick Rose. 6'3", not just a speedster, but the combination of quickness and power. I've always thought this. He goes in there, and he would be a very tough guy to try to stop when he's got a full head of steam.
No question. Wow. He's coming at you with that burst and the strength. That's why he's so overpowering as a point guard.
Butler against Thornton. Outside for Thomas. And another 3 for Sacramento.
No, he's going to keep banging those home if you give him that much space.
Rose with the ball. He had a 36-point outing in the last game against Phoenix.
And a gigantic game for him at the free throw line. I mean, he was initiating contact and really hunting those whistles from the referees.
Well, the Bulls battled in last year's postseason. Got a Game 7 win in Brooklyn to sneak out of round 1 in what was one of the more interesting series of the first round, but then fell to the Heat in round 2.
Shot clock at 5. Thomas, who's covered by Rose. At the line, here's Landry, and there's the whistle. Fouled hard on the shot. He'll go to the line. That's on Joakim Noah. Sacramento shooting their first free throws. First trip to the line in this one. And for the Bulls, no Rose the whole time, and they had questions constantly being asked if he would return, but the team came together, Steve, and showed the Bulls aren't just a one-man show.
You know, they missed him, though, Kevin, and desperately. I thought they performed admirably, but they really needed him against the Heat. They were able to steal Game 1 in that Eastern Conference semifinal matchup, but without him, the Bulls just didn't have enough firepower to beat Miami.
And here's Rose, following the 3 from Thornton. Boozer, Salmon's covering. Butler kicks to Boozer. Good ball movement here by the Bulls. Will it go? That doesn't go either for Rose. Kings leading now by 7. I'll go to Doris Burke, who spoke with Tom Thibodeau. Doris?
Yes, Kevin, we talked about their focus offensively, and he told me, listen, you know we certainly have the ability to get to the bucket and finish with force. That's a great ability to have because you draw fouls, you draw attention, and that creates shots for others. So we'll start by attacking inside. Sounds like a good plan, fellas.
All right, Doris, thank you very much. Catching up on the changes for Chicago. Taj Gibson's checked in for Noah. Dunleavy comes in for Carlos Boozer. And it's Heinrich in for Derrick Rose. Here's Dunleavy. Here's Butler. Good on the three-point shot. Butler's got his first 3 points of the game.
Boy, he found the perfect spot behind the arc there. Big gap in the defense.
Thornton passes to Vasquez. Thornton dishes to Vasquez. Into Jason Thompson. That falls. Great assist by Vasquez. Thompson's got his first basket of the night.
Well, they've settled into their offense very quickly here today.
Yeah, they're zoned in, making the most out of their possessions here.
Shots good by Butler. There's 1:17 left in the first quarter of the game. And Kirk Heinrich picks up the foul. That's his first foul. Sacramento making some changes. Patterson comes in for John Salmons. And McLemore subbed in for Marcus Thornton. We've got 1:13 left in the first quarter. Here's Vasquez, and blocked. But they get it there. There's the pass to McLemore. He kicks to Patterson. Moves back up. Gets the bucket. There's 49 seconds left to play in the first quarter. Dang kicks to Heinrich. He dishes it to Dunlap. Heinrich. Dang with the screen for Heinrich. Outside Dang. Gibson inside. And the layup's good off the glass.
I tell you what, the post play has been rock solid right off the bat.
Well, that's the key to basketball. Get the ball inside, into the paint, either with a pass or with penetration.
Now here's Vasquez. He hasn't scored yet. That I'm sure will change. 7-second difference, shot and game clock. And Patterson kicks to Mbamute. Back to Patterson. 6 to shoot. And lots of contact there. Listen, this shot goes through 2. And he's got his first free throw of the game. That free throw good from Patterson. And the Kings making a change here. That's also good. So he hits both free throws. And here is Dang. Here's Heinrich. Gibson setting the pick for Heinrich. No good with the fallback jumper.
He got the shot he wanted off that kick. Just couldn't get it to fall.
But Steve, they'll take that play all day long. 10 times out of 10. That was good action.
No shortage.
Next Wednesday.
All right, the second quarter beginning in just a moment. And a moment here to take a look at the scoring breakdown for the Kings.
Boy, the three-point shot has really been dropping for them early on.
Yeah, their passing has been terrific, too. Clark, we're seeing a lot of assists, really moving, a lot of flow offensively. I like what I see.
In a moment now to reset the lineups, courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up for the second quarter of basketball. So for Chicago right now, Heinrich and Rose the guards. Noah is out there with Dang, and it's Butler in at the small forward position.
His presence is very comforting for this team. He's kind of a fallback option for them anytime they need it.
And, you know, for the Kings with the new ownership group, a new coach, a new front office, and a new downtown arena on the horizon, it's exciting times for the Kings fans and a lot of newfound optimism around this team, too. Well, we've got a moment to look back at last year's Bulls. 8th in rebounding, 8th in assists. And they were top 10 in free throw percentage. That's always helpful in winning games.
And what stands out to me, Clark, with what you just talked about is the rebounds, because this is a very physical team. They like to try to bully their opponent at both ends of the floor. On the defensive glass, they were excellent. And then offensively, on missed shots, they really got after it and tried to get second chance points.
And the Kings, a team that experienced a period of great success in the 90s, back the late 90s and early this century. But they had undergone a 7-year playoff drought, and Steve Times had gotten pretty down.
Well, there's a lot of change in the air in Sacramento this season. New ownership, new management, new coaching, and some young talent with Ben McLemore. So I think there's hope going forward for the Sacramento Kings.
And a chance here to catch up with the fourth member of our crew, Doris Burke. Hi, Doris.
Gentlemen, last season it seemed there was a little back and forth between head coach Tom Thibodeau and the Bulls front office regarding the big minutes he gave his starters. Thibodeau said, quote, "It's never the right amount of minutes. That's the only thing I know. If a guy's not playing big minutes, it's not enough minutes. And if a guy's playing big minutes, it's too many minutes. So you play to win. That's the whole thing. And when you're a young team, guys can handle minutes. But guys, both Dang and Noah missed significant time. Noah only playing 66 games in the regular season. Dang out through the last 7 games of the playoffs. You wonder maybe they have a point.
They've worked to round out the roster. That should help those minutes stay down. Sacramento making some changes. John Salmons, he's checked in for Outlaw. And it's Norton in for Vasquez. Stolen by Rose.
Ridiculous move. Tore it down that time.
And guys, let's get your take on the hustle stats for Chicago.
They've come out in attack mode defensively, applying pressure and stealing the ball repeatedly.
Another big aspect of their game tonight has been the fast break, transition opportunity. They're really keeping it up-tempo so far. You know, with Derrick Rose out, a lot of people thought the Bulls would flounder last season, guys, but they were still one of the tougher teams in all of the East, in part because the culture of toughness and next man up has been instilled in that group from its coaching staff, starting with Tom Thibodeau. I don't think this takes away anything from how great Rose is, but I think it certainly speaks to how bought in and committed to the team that every man on that roster is.
Well, back to the Chicago Bulls team, you got to give a lot of credit to the culture of defense and effort that Coach Tom Thibodeau has created there, Steve.
Well, they weathered Rose's absence remarkably well. You know, advancing in the playoffs, giving Miami all it could handle. And you wonder, you know, with a healthy Rose now and all these other players having developed, is Chicago a championship caliber team? I think they are. I agree.
And that's out of bounds. Sacramento will retain possession. Chance to check out the Sacramento Kings' upcoming schedule. Next up on the docket, the Bucks following this one. And that game closes out the 4-game homestand for them. Thomas goes in low to Cousins. Can't cash in from close range.
You know, as the Bulls have been one of the tougher teams the last few seasons, they've done it through dominating the glass and tough defense. Had some injuries to deal with last year, but at the core, this is a defensive-minded team. That's why they're always competitive.
Bulls shooting their 4th and 5th shots at the foul line in the game.
They were a fairly decent free throw shooting team a year ago, Kevin, about 77% from the line.
And you know, a lot of times, guys, in some of their performances last year, their free throw numbers helped them win games.
And the Bulls making a change here. Bench checked in, and the shot is good. Cousins has got 4 points now on the court. And the Bulls in the top 5 in offensive rebound rate last season.
Yeah, for a team that struggled to produce points with Derrick Rose out the entire season, those extra possessions are just so valuable. And it's no surprise, really, the way this team hits the boards. Tom Thibodeau always getting peak effort out of his guys.
Thornton passes to Thomas. There's 1:17 left in the first half of basketball. Just 5 on the clock. Rose with the block. And here we go. The Bulls fix break. Dang. He's guarded by Thornton. And good on the basket. Book it. Now it's a 5-point Bulls lead.
You know, they're being very one-dimensional right now, going to the post every time. But if it works, you don't need another dimension.
Well, they're taking this defense to task, quite honestly. Every one of their last 10 points has come in the paint.
And there's Derrick Rose on the assist by Noah. 20 points for Derrick Rose.
You know, something we're seeing less and less of these days, that little finger roll. Not sure if they're aware of the 2-for-1 opportunity they have.
Well, they need to be.
Now Thomas, 5 points in the game. Dish now to Cousins. Working on Noah. Outside for Thornton. Tries it to Matt. Butler with the block. And stolen by Thornton.
And no need to rush it. They can play for one shot.
And I think they should wait till about the 5-second mark to go for it.
Here's Rose. And it's Sacramento with the rebound. They're moving on after the tough loss they took at the hands of the Nuggets.
And it wasn't just bad shooting. They didn't want getting good looks. The offense wasn't clicking. No ball movement. Very stagnant performance.
And now, brought to you by Sprint.
Welcome to 2K Sports. We're in the early stages of what promises to be another great season in the NBA. The Bulls have been rolling along. A precision offensive attack, maximizing possessions. They're avoiding turnovers. It's just a beautiful game tonight. Derrick Rose has it stuck on automatic following his performance against Phoenix. Shooting nearly 70% so far, a gaudy shooting percentage, the envy of everybody playing tonight. And doing their best to stay alive, the Sacramento Kings. And give them credit defensively, they're boxing out, controlling their defensive backboards. A tremendous first half for Marcus Thornton at over 50. Utah with the lead again.
The Sprint Halftime Report, presented by Sprint.
And the third quarter about ready to get underway.
We're seeing the Kings unable to defend against Derrick Rose.
He has 20 points, and he's played the role of the best today, too. I mean, he's caused a bunch of turnovers.
And those steals are all the evidence you need of just how high his basketball IQ is. He really sees the floor well defensively.
Landry and Cousins patrol the paint. Thomas and Thornton pairing up in the backcourt. And it's Salmons in at the 3-slot. That's the group for Mike Malone getting going here in the second half.
Noah once again had a really solid season, but his field goal percentage numbers dropped from where they had been the past 2 years. I think part of it was not having Derrick Rose on the floor, and then also he was hurt. Plantar fasciitis bothered him some. Not having Rose, I think, led to Noah forcing the issue a bit.
Boozer a screen on Thomas. Shoots off the screen, and it's Chicago scoring again.
He's been one of their more reliable options today, guys. I mean, his shooting has led them to this lead.
Oh, and speaking of Noah, some dip into his finishing numbers. You wonder if his injuries played a part in that.
Yeah, Coach Thibodeau rode him pretty hard. Career high in minutes. In fact, second most per game among centers in the NBA last season. Remember, he had the foot injury during the playoffs, so he's always had some health issues, but he's battled through them.
Are you surprised that he's become the warrior that he's become in the NBA?
Not really, Kevin. He's a winner at Florida, a guy who loved to play. He's got a lot of passion for the game.
And he gets it to go as they call the foul. He's on his way to the line for one more.
Even with the D lurches, he made it look easy with the soft finger roll.
Well, he can be fun to watch because of how agile he is. He spends a lot of time in the air.
He does levitate in addition to elevate. He can do some special things up top with the ball. He'll take off with the hoop and double clutch or switch hands, and it doesn't fool with his accuracy at all.
Looks good. This time the assist from Rose. Noah's got 4 points this quarter.
Well, the Kings gave up the most points in the league last season, guys, but new coach Mike Malone has a great reputation as a defensive mind. He's shown that as an assistant with the Hornets and the Warriors. And in both cases, he helped those teams get better defensively. They're expecting to do the same thing with the Kings.
It's going to be 2 free throws, drew contact on the shot. And you look at the defensive numbers for the Kings last season, one of the worst rebounding teams in the league, among the lowest in blocks, in fact, Steve, in the NBA.
Yeah, there wasn't much more defensively in terms of a scheme and a competitive edge to this team. And that's what Mike Malone is trying to bring to them. He wants to hold them accountable, to really bring a toughness and an edge defensively. And, that's the goal this year.
Thomas goes in, pass to Hayes, lots of room. It's hauled in by Noah. Noah's got 6 rebounds here tonight. And here's Rose. He's got 24. Goes off the bit from Noah. Rose double team. Out of bounds, Sacramento will take possession.
Mike Malone, the new head coach of the Sacramento Kings, son of a former NBA coach. Mike has been credited with helping teams improve their defenses, whether it was in New Orleans with Chris Paul, last season with Golden State, but Malone very well regarded in NBA coaching circles.
And Ba'amute dishes to Hayes. Stolen by Rose. The feed to Gibson. Softly drops in the floater. Gibson's got his second bucket of the night.
Looked like he may have been showboating a little bit at the end of that one.
And the Sacramento team, Clark, not without offensive talent, but their defense has been a short time.
And that's the area they've got to ramp up and improve. Coach Malone is going to have an opportunity to put his stamp on this team by improving them at the defensive end of the floor.
John Salmons, he's checked in for Sacramento. Isiah Thomas goes in for Marcus Thornton. Thomas goes in. That's in there. Thomas with the assist. Thomas got his 4th assist with that last one here tonight.
Well, I'll tell you what, Isiah Thomas, guys, the last pick of the second round, 60th overall his draft year, but he has been terrific. He passed and scored and stepped into the starting point guard role for the Kings and showed he belonged.
Patrick Patterson, he's checked in for Mba'amute. Now here's Vasquez, defended by Butler. 1:33 left to play here in the third. Here's Thompson, and that one's good. Thompson's got his second basket. Going back to Isiah Thomas and the Kings, they really needed a true point guard to set the table for everybody. His emergence was a pretty nice story for this team.
Well, he's always been doubted because he was only 5'9", and he wasn't drafted high, wasn't recruited that heavily, but I think he's demonstrated that he can hold his own with the best in this league.
Vasquez, who's covered by Rose. Vasquez kicks to Thompson. Anderson against Dang. Anderson pass to Thomas. Rebound by Butler.
Boy, they were ready for him right there. I mean, totally collapsed the defense on him.
Gibson inside. And John Salmons with the rebound. For Chicago, they won their last contest that game against the Suns.
I thought the way they attacked the rim and got into the paint was phenomenal. It seemed like after a while, the defense just kind of waved the white flag.
That's exactly what will happen when a team continues to attack the goal and come away with layups. It demoralizes the defense.
Catching up on the changes for Sacramento. Chuck Hayes, he's checked in for Thompson. And Bahamute comes in for John Salmons. And it's Thornton in for Vasquez.
Boy, that was a rugged screen set there, fellas, and the defense didn't even try to go through that.
Anderson setting the pick for Thomas. A three. Chicago grabs the miss. They'll face the Lakers after this one. That'll be at home. That game is the first and last of their homestand.
Yeah, you know the fans out in L.A. really.
The NBA.
And the final period of play just about to start. Let's look at the energy stats, how the hustle game has been going for the Bulls.
I thought we might see a little defensive adjustment at halftime, but the fast break continues to be effective.
Something that's also benefited them tonight are the turnovers they forced and the points that have come along with those forced turnovers.
On the court for the Bulls, getting this fourth quarter started. Heinrich and Butler at the 2 and 3. They knock Derrick home, and it's Rose in at the bunker. And the basket by Thornton.
Boy, that was impressive, Clark. He would not hesitate to take the ball right up against the bigger defender.
Boy, I like that aggressive mindset there, Steve.
And so it looks like the Bulls will retain possession here. And here's what the Chicago Bulls schedule is looking like. They'll face the Lakers after this one. That'll be at home. That game will be a quick pit stop before hitting the road again. Rose goes in, dishes it to Dunlap. Off target from outside. The Kings trailed by 6. Thomas off a pick from Hayes. And the foul on Derrick Rose. And that'll be his third foul so far. Bulls making a switch here. Now here's Cousins. He feeds it to Vasquez. Pocket 6. And out of bounds as the Bulls gain possession. Landry's checked in for the Kings. The Bulls leading by 6. Rose attacking. And so he ends a trip to the line. Officials saw the contact and he'll shoot 2.
Guys, how about the Bulls being able to nab the 5th seed in the East last season, in large part due to how they were able to play on the road. Of course, when you play tough and solid defense like they do, it makes it easier to be competitive and string together road wins.
And for the Bulls, defense is one of the few things in the NBA that can neutralize a home court advantage. And Steve, a big part of why they had the success they had on the road.
Yeah, they went 21-20 away from the United Center. And one of only 5 teams in the entire East who managed to stay above 500 away from home. That's a real tribute to this team and the coaching staff.
Noah. The kick outside to Butler. Feeds to Gibson. He's guarded by Thornton. Rose dishes to Dang. And the Bulls with another miss. Foul call. Looked like that he didn't get there in time, and he'll shoot free throws.
Can you believe the job they're doing at the foul line since halftime? I mean, they've been perfect so far.
Yeah, sometimes it's contagious. Everybody starts to get comfortable and relaxed, and everything goes in the hoop.
And both free throws good from Gibson.
A lot was made about the Kings in their home last year, but it wasn't about how well are they playing at home. It was about where is their home going to be next season. The Kings are staying in Sacramento, but they played like it might be their last hurrah.
You know, tired legs can affect you at the defensive end. I think that's what's happening right here.
I agree, because as much offense as we saw early, we're seeing even more of it here late.
All right, let's go over to the sideline with Doris Burke.
Well, guys, Tom Thibodeau had some advice for his team in that last timeout. He told the players, let's put our foot on them and keep them down. We've got them exactly where we want them. I want to see you guys slow the pace, use the clock, and stay away from any silly fouls.
Skins up top. He's covered by Rose. Butler against Landry. Cousins.
Fourth and last foul makes came off a high-quality shot inside.
Yeah, that's textbook basketball. Just having no way down low.
Rose off the hit from Noah. Rose goes in. And he was fouled on the way out. 2 free throws now for him. And you go back to the Kings at home last year, 20 and 21. It was easy to see just how much tougher a team they were in this building. Now, Steve, they really looked like a team that could compete with anyone at any time.
Well, this community really rallied behind the franchise, and there was a lot of worry that maybe this was the farewell tour for the Kings fans and the players. And they played their hearts out last year. You got to give them a lot of credit for really fighting, particularly down the stretch when things were good.
Landry, and there are the Kings with another bucket.
They've got to continue to put pressure on the defense by probing inside. That's what's really working for them.
And when you're doing the job they are inside, it takes pressure off the perimeter guys.
Outside Rose. Outside Butler. Back to Rose. Noah with a screen on Thomas. 5 on the clock. Noah's shot is up. The Kings trailed by 4. Thomas with the ball. Fourth quarter of play and over 3.5 minutes have gone by. Kicks it to Simmons. From outside the arc. No good. And the Bulls going the other way now. They've held a 12-point lead early. It's not possible what we just saw. Is that?
It is possible. I don't know what all that meant, but you're right, Clark.
Thomas gets to Selmans. Passes it to Landry. Back to Selmans. Pass to Thornton. On deep. Shot is off. Great defense that time from Noah. And there's the whistle. Called a clear path foul there. Yep. And he'll shoot 2 times. He hits the first one, and that makes it a 7-point lead. Second one is good. And both at the line. And it's an 8-point game. Carlos Breezer's checked in for Taj Gibson. Rose gets the Dang. Offensive rebound. Some nice ball movement by the Bulls. Outside Butler. It's good. This time the assist from Rose.
Well, they've done a great job keeping the fans out of the game today, and the closer they get to the win, the quieter it gets.
Yeah, we call this the sweet sounds of silence. They're going to savor this win, as well they should. Every road win carries a little extra reward.
To the paint. Got a piece of it. And stolen by Thomas. And the Kings pushing it up now. Thomas is running. First free throw is good, and that brings them to within 10. And Thornton drops 2. For 3, Heinrich off on that one. And So it's Chicago winning this one.
I should have taken back this moment. These words I spoke, I know it. Now I can see clearly. I folded, I shouldered too much weight. I hold in too much pain, and it destroyed me, and then rebuilt me, and now it can feel me. It follows me everywhere I go, but it can never break me. Now I know. I should have taken back this moment. These words I spoke, I know it. Now I can see clearly. I folded, I shouldered too much weight. I hold in too much pain, and it destroyed me, and then rebuilt me, and now it can feel me. It follows me everywhere I go, but it can never break me. Now I know. I was lying to myself back then, but the truth was always bleeding out my pen. I fade back to myself in the end. I'm just one step away. I ascend, I climb that faded staircase of sin. I'm reaching in vain just to hold on to them. Once again, the memories seem to blend. My enemies and friends seem to vanish in the wind. One step closer to your dreams. Does it mean everything in between where you are right now?